Hello.
This is me.
Hello. Who do
This
we got
is
on
me.
the line? Hello, me. Is that short for Mimi?
Hello.
Who is
No,
it?
well, short for Carter.
Carter. What's going on, Carter?
Is me short for meme?
No. I'm actually a very nice guy. At least I think I am.
No, meme, like M-E-M-E, meme. Anyways,
meme.
sorry. That was a bad joke. I've had a couple beers. It's fine. Carter, right? What's going on?
Yeah. Oh, well, I needed some advice from you guys.
Belly up to the bar, man. Tell us what's on your mind.
Well, it's ironic. I'm actually at a bar. That's my job. I'm a bartender. So
Okay, this is gonna. Okay, you do your advice, and then I got some questions for you. So
Yeah,
let's do your question
all right,
first.
all right.
We haven't had a ton of bartenders call, believe it or not. So we've both been talking about this. This will be exciting. All right, let's get
I
to
just
it.
thought of
Good.
another good podcast for it would be a bar. It'd be a bunch of bartenders doing a podcast together, and it would just be called The Other Side of the Bar.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, that would be genius.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Yeah, maybe you'll be a host on it.
I'll give you my email.
Yeah, do that.
that's
be
how
there.
business gets done, baby.
Yeah, look at that.
bars through
Yeah.
emails.
Look at that.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just had to get that out there to make sure that everyone knew that I'm thinking about new podcasts.
That's like a dog pissing on a mailbox, so they know like it's his territory.
Yeah, I just had to mark it. Just had to mark it quick. All right, Carter, go ahead.
You know, we keep inviting him to go ahead and give it his advice, but we're the ones who
Okay,
keep
before
jumping
you
on
go
it.
ahead, though.
It's the Midwest interruption.
I know, the Midwest interruption. All right, Carter, what's on your mind? Go ahead.
All right. So, well, my buddy just got a new girlfriend. Oh, it's been about 6 months. But,
So, when was the last time you saw him? Yeah, I think it's about time you have a funeral for your buddy.
Oh, yeah. He's gone to the wind.
Yep.
But so him and his girlfriend came up and had dinner with me and my fiance. And we haven't really met his girlfriend that much. And she got us Christmas gifts.
What?
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
Wait. As in,
Like the first time you met her, she got you a Christmas gift?
Maybe third.
are you really good friends? Is this your best buddy?
This is like my lifelong buddy.
Okay.
And this is her first relationship, only like his second.
Well, I'm thinking super nice. I'm going to hold any negative
before
reservations.
we do that, though, this is going to be the big determining question. Is she sucking up or is she a nice person? We're about to find out.
We can't really tell. We haven't been able to gauge.
So have you been able to open up the gifts yet?
So yes, he actually got me a really cool gift.
Well,
It's
hold
actually
on.
really cool.
Let me hold on. How expensive was said gift? Because that will tell you if she's sucking up or if she's actually a nice person. How expensive?
Probably like $10 max.
I think
that's
she's a
great.
nice person.
That's a really nice
She's a
person.
nice person. Now, if she
she's
bought
just
one
a
of
nice
those,
person.
if she would have bought one of those Yeti bottle openers that are $50, she's sucking up and trying to show off.
Or she had a coupon.
Yeah.
But if it's just a normal bottle opener, I think she just might be a nice person.
All right. Are you going to let him tell what she got now?
So it's a bottle opener, but
Shut
when you
up.
open the bottle,
It's a bottle opener?
He
the
already
bottle
said that.
cap drops.
I didn't hear
the
that.
bottle cap drop and it gets caught by a magnet.
I've seen those. That's a great gift.
Those are awesome.
You know what's
Yeah.
funny is I have one of those with a fan had sent me in one of those with the YB logo on it, and the wood on the bottle opener was shaped like the state of Wisconsin. So, and I live in North Dakota,
It was a.
so I know
hilarious.
exactly what you're talking about, and it is a cool gift. That's a good gift. I like this gal. I think that
Yeah,
she seems
she's a
like a nice lady.
Yeah. But the problem is do we now have to give her a gift?
Oh, yeah.
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 I mean, that's the downside of your buddy dating a gift giver is then you got to add this extra thing to your to-do list, you know?
Yeah. And try not to give the gift she gave to you back to her, you know?
See, that's the thing. I love the gift. It's already hung up.
Oh, yeah. I suppose that's true. You really love it, and you were already talking about it. Sometimes you can forget who gave you what, and then you give something back to, and they're like, yeah, this was cool. I got it for you a year ago. I did that to my sister once. Maybe that's just a me issue.
Yeah, I think it might be.
Yeah.
Okay. Because the next thing I was going to think, if you really do like the gift, I would consider really encouraging her to get you a gift next year because it sounds like she's a good gift giver. So otherwise, I was going to say, how tight are you with your buddy? And go, hey, the gift was great and all, but we're not really going to do this gift thing forever, are we? Maybe tell the old ball and chain to cool it on the gifts next year is maybe what I would say, depending on how good of buddies you are with this guy. Have you thought about that?
Yeah, we've been friends for about 20 years, and we've never given each other a Christmas gift.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he's a changed man.
So funny.
Yeah.
Now,
it's a really just out of the blue.
So was this gift that she gave you, was it just from her or was it from the both of them?
Yeah, he said he had no idea. So she really is just a genuine girl. But now I'm stuck in this whole annual gift giving.
No, you are not. Your fiance is. Let's be real. You don't got to do shit. You and your buddy don't got to do shit. It's now become an exchange between the ball and chains.
Okay, good. That's what I needed to hear. I just need to not know. I need to know that I don't have to go somewhere and buy a gift.
Yes.
Wait, no, hang on. I'm gonna have to take a different stance here because did she also got your gal something, right?
Yeah, I don't even know what it was. It was just like this wrapped up baking thing. Like it was like a food,
Something that goes in the kitchen. You don't know nothing about it. That's what you're saying.
Yes, exactly.
Give you an extension cord. You'll know what that effer is. Anything in the kitchen, you don't know shit about that.
Well,
give me a Sawzall, we're good.
You know what? I think Miles' advice still stands. I think you just have to have your fiance get her something, that's equal to gifts,
Just tell your buddy, hey, I'm not getting you a gift. She can continue to give me a gift, but I'm not getting you one, buddy. And I think he'll understand that.
Well, yeah, he's not even getting the gift.
I'll let the fiance get the gift, and then I'll tell my buddy, yeah, we're not doing that. And then it's a surprise.
Props to your buddy for being totally honest about it, too, and not just, slapping his name on the card,
That's what I'm doing this Christmas.
I mean, let's
She bought all the gifts from both of us. Yeah.
You know what we say in our household? Hey, I can't wait to see what I got you. Little bit.
Yeah, do the old buy it online and then say, it hasn't come in yet.
Yeah, well, Charlie was just talking earlier today about how he's given a photo of the gift that he's going to get you.
That you just print off the internet, And the best part is when you don't even buy it, and then you just keep forgetting. And
that
then
happened to my mom once.
Really?
She wanted a paddle boat for Christmas.
Yeah.
When my parents bought their lake cabin. All she got was a brochure of a paddle boat, and then never ever got the paddle boat. To this day, they don't own a paddle boat. But she still got a brochure, which, hey, it's basically like an IOU. It's just as good as a paddle boat.
You don't want to lose that one.
Yeah, you're going to want to hold on to that one. That's a $250 paddle boat. Might want to hold on to that one. Yeah, hey, make it a bit between you and your buddy. Give each other IOUs.
Yeah, and then see who has the better IOU,
And then just never fulfill it.
Yeah,
exactly.
100%.
But then just throw it in an envelope, So you're actually doing a gift exchange, but then the IOUs just keep getting more and more absurd. It'll be up to a yacht and a Michael Jordan's mansion. It'll be stuff like that by the end of it.
I like that. Our gifts would probably go with a mud motor and new shotguns every year, probably.
There you go. You got anything else? Well, okay. A bartender. I forgot. I had a couple
we
questions.
got the whole bartender thing going.
So what is as a bartender, what is your go-to line when you're trying to make the customer laugh a little bit? You got a go-to line?
I usually make fun of their drink of choice.
Okay. No matter what?
It depends. So usually when a guy comes up and tries to order a light beer, it usually goes along the lines of, you sure you want to drink that kind of water?
All right
now?
Let's end this call, Jared. Should we end the call,
No,
Charlie?
keep going. I like it. I'm liking this.
Unless they want Miller Lite.
Fantastic beer.
Where's the end button on this?
No,
this call.
I'm loving it. Here, I got a question. That might be a little less divisive. All right. So your bar's crowded, right? Have you ever...
Yes, in the summer, yes.
This is my favorite thing to watch when the bar is crowded. You get the peacock off. You know, you get two guys approaching the bar at the same time. They see each other and they're looking at the bartender.
Lock eyes.
They lock eyes. They're like, I'm getting this drink before you. So then
chest kind of puffs out a little bit.
Puffs up, you know. They're holding out a card. When the card doesn't work, they bring out the cash, you know?
Yep. And if you hold out anything less than a 20, you no chance you're getting helped.
Forget about it. So I want to know from your perspective, what should a two peacocking fellas do to get your attention in a way that's respectful and you'll come to them first?
So, yeah, the whole card in hand and leaning on that bar does not help.
Okay.
Okay. Are we supposed to look sad and pathetic?
Bar. No. It's the complete opposite. You stand there, shoulders, high, good posture.
Yeah.
And you just stand there. You make eye contact with me and you just give me a little nod. You give me that little nod, boom, I'm right over.
Okay.
So it's a lot like picking up chicks is what you're saying. Stand there, eye contact, head nod, the whole thing.
So you just stand there. Now, where should I put my hands? It's like dancing. I don't know what to do with them.
Oh, your hands? So if there's no chairs at the bar available, I always like to put like one hand on the chair and just kind of look lackadaisical. You're in no rush.
You're chilling.
If you look like you're in no rush, then you're probably going to get service faster because I'm not getting, the hand waving with the card and the two beers symbol. Like,
so, you maybe want to stand there, maybe just kind of let your arms be a little loosey-goosey. Maybe say something like, God, I could do this all day. Something like that to show
but not
that.
Too loosey-goosey.
Okay, then that's weird. Yeah.
Because then I think you're too drunk.
Okay, smart. Actually, yes. So we're gonna go about 1/3 loosey-goosey, 2/3 nonchalant, is what you're thinking.
Yeah, that's a great combo.
And then just to reiterate, we make eye contact, but I'm not. You don't want.
It's not like sexy eye. It's not like do me eyes, is it? It's like, hey, just get my attention eyes.
Yes, it's a like quick eye contact, but like don't stare too long into my eyes.
Yeah. Okay.
Stare or make eye contact. Don't stare into your eyes. Stay on the surface level of the eyes.
Do you want me to keep looking at you though?
I don't look at anyone.
Do you want me to keep looking at you? Like as you go around the bar?
Like, act like you know people, like look around, be like, hey, how's it going to other people?
Okay.
You just seem a little bit more important.
Okay. What if I do this though? What if there are two bartenders behind the bar and then I give you eye contact and you go to the other end of the bar and then I start cheating on you and I give the other person eye contact?
Is cheating okay in the bartending world?
So it all depends on whether or not you see the bartender splitting tips.
Okay.
Oh,
I mean, this is turning into a full-time job now. This is a lot of work.
This might be one of the most important calls we've ever taken here.
Yeah, I know, but I'm walking in. So you come into the bar. First, you got to learn everyone's name along the bar rail because you got to look like you know everyone and you're nonchalant.
Yeah.
You got to be a tiny bit loosey-goosey, not too loosey-goosey, otherwise you're going to look a little drunk. You got to maintain eye contact without seeming like you're trying to have sex with the bartender, right? Then you have to be checking to see if they're splitting tips or not. And if they are splitting tips, then it's fine to cheat on the other bartender. If they aren't splitting tips, you better hold strong to that initial eye contact. Am I correct? Did I lay that out correctly?
That is perfect. And the best way to keep a bartender coming to you faster and faster when you need more drinks is to throw down just like a 20 to start the night. That's the start, right? They take that 20, it's a tip. Great. Awesome. And then every time you get a new drink, it's just a few dollars from there, $2-3. You're good to go for the rest of the night. I will be there the moment you walk up to that bar.
Okay, so the first tip
I
is
do that a lot when I'm on vacation in Mexico, by the way. Give them a 20 right away, and they will be your best friend the rest of the day by the pool. So it's a great tip.
So 20 off the top, and that's straight tip. That's not just for your drink and the rest the changes tip.
That could be. I mean, as long as it's more than more than $10 on a tip right off the bat, you're just showing that you're here. You're here to make sure that I have a good time, you have a good time, and that you're just getting drinks faster. It's kind of a symbol for give me a drink every time I walk up.
Okay. All right. I like it but at that initial stage, can you tell if someone's going to tip big or not? Can you tell a guy just by looking at him know if he's going to tip big?
Yeah. Usually the more that they say that they're rich, the less they tip.
Come on. Is that common? People just walk in and be like, I am rich. Hey, everyone, I'm rich. I'm going to tip big. Look at me.
It is very common at my work. I work at Geneva National, so
I don't know.
Geneva National.
It's a country club in Lake Geneva.
I was going to say, like the convention, the Geneva Convention.
No, Lake Geneva, it's where you get a lot of fibs coming up from Illinois.
Gotcha.
And,
so you're dealing in the fib land is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's in Wisconsin, though. It's in Wisconsin, but it's a very fancy, like a lot of fancy boats there. And you're working at the country club? Oh, man. Country clubs.
Yeah,
I worked there once as a caddy, and my, oh, my. I was not a good caddy. That surprises nobody. But this been a lot of great info.
We learned more from you than you learned from us.
Which honestly, how it goes for a lot of
you guys gave me the great advice. Don't worry.
Okay.
What advice did we give him again?
I think we said screw gift giving.
Oh yeah, is this the same call?
Yep.
Charlie's been drinking a little bit, so
I've only had half a beer here.
I know you got to keep up, buddy.
Tippy cow.
Maybe you need to drink more to level you out a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
So, hey, this has been great advice. We are going to now, after this call, we're going to try out the advice on how to get a beer. Charlie's going to go to one end of the bar. I'm going to stay down here, and then we're going to see who gets served first.
Yeah.
That's really what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
I hope you guys do well. All right.
I'm gonna after the call, I'm gonna yell and point at Charlie and go, he said that he's rich and he's gonna tip really big.
She won't come. Don't worry.
Okay. I know. That's what my plan is. All right, man. Well, thanks for calling in and good luck. Good luck with all those the tip business. That's you're doing God's work, bringing the beer to the people. And it reminds me, Charlie,
tip your bartender.
Always tip your bartender,
especially if you're at a country club. You got enough money for the country club. You got enough money for the tips.
Hell yeah, man. Well, thanks for calling in.
Thanks, guys. You have a good day.
All right. See you now,
Charlie. I'm not gonna lie to you.
But I love the way you lie.
I love the way you lie.
I think, I think that bartenders, depending on if the bar is really busy, I don't necessarily think the nonchalant thing works that good.
I mean, I'm going to try it.
If there was 200 people in this bar right now, the nonchalant would not work.
You've got to be a little assertive, right?
Right?
That's what I'm
we have all the spots are taken up at this bar.
Yeah.
And so it's like a medium busy bar right now.
Yeah.
I think
on a Monday.
Yeah.
Afternoon.
It's busy for
God
Monday.
bless you, Minneapolis.
I would say that his advice is going to work here right now.
Okay.
That's the way to do it. But if it's packed, I think too loosey-goosey nonchalanty is going to be...
Yeah. I mean, were you a bartender ever in your day?
Little bit.
I was also a little bit of a bartender.
Like one winter.
Well, one winter. I used to bartend at the Coal Center at Camp Randall or whatever.
Yeah.
Back when I was in school. So it wasn't like real bartending. It was like we're doing events and there were parties or whatever.
Yep.
But I do remember, the tip thing is someone once put a 50 in my back pocket and slapped me on the ass and said, keep them.
That sounds hot.
It was a gal too. So, yeah.
And then you proposed to her a few weeks later?
No. What? No.
Oh, I thought that was me.
This was like a 60-year-old woman.
Oh,
or something.
okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's, we talked your proposal earlier.
Oh, yeah. We got to cut that out, by the way.
No, we don't. No, we don't. Life happens, Charles,
Life happens. Yeah.
Hey. Keep them coming, baby.
You're supposed to put a 50 in there before you slap it. I don't got a
50. Actually, I think you owe me a 50. So
do I owe you money?
Put a 50 in my pocket, slap my ass.
I don't have a 50. I got find an ATM.
All right. Well, what a way to end this podcast.
Yeah,
Charlie.
with a little booty tap
little
from
grab
Miles.
assing, Hey, little locker room talk, little locker room behavior, guys being dudes. Maybe after this, we'll whip some towels at each other,
I like my eyes.
Yeah. Oh, that's not what I'm worried about. The old twig and berries, I gotta protect the family jewels.
Well, this has just been another insanely informative,
eye-opening,
culturally relevant podcast. Honestly, I think we learned a lot today with just the bar tipping, and I will say this. We should give it a try. He's a professional. He's been there before. Let's just give it a
All
shot.
right. Hey, to end this, let's see if you can put it into action here. I'll hold your mic. You stand up and do the technique. Okay. He's got one arm on the bar. He's got two hands in pockets. His eyeballs are up towards the ceiling, but not on the ceiling because then it looks like you don't know what's going on. Oh, gave the head nod. She turned around. Didn't work.
Total fail.
Total fail. Hey, we'll work on it. I think it's no, she went for the pizza.
She's straight up ignoring now at this point.
She's ignoring,
which is her prerogative.
What, now you want my
Oh no! We failed.
Yeah, you also got to read the room. I think on the bar, she's gonna stab us with a pizza cutter here. So
that's a great pizza cutter, by the way.
It looks like it's got some good weight to it.
Yeah. Well, are you letting that pizza cool right now, or are you delivering it right now?
I thought I just stared.
Oh, you're gonna stare at?
That's for her. It's not for you.
Yeah, I just want to have her verify if she's interested in doing it. The whole thing. Would you be interested in verifying something at some point on this? Yeah. Well. Okay. All right. When someone when you crowded bar, someone's trying to get your attention. Would you prefer someone to just stand here casually, get your eye contact, and kind of?
Not like that.
Not like that? Okay. Bad eye contact.
Those were the eyeballs we were trying to avoid.
Okay, I got to get the eye contact right.
What about one of these? Is see it way down the bar and just give you one of those? High eyebrows, right?
Okay.
Right? You go low eyebrows and you give them one of these, kind of creepy, right? You go like this, high eyebrows.
Right there.
High brows. All right, we go high eyebrows. High brows.
Eyebrows.
That's it. I like it. All right. Oh, don't! I have a creepy look. I have a creepy.
You don't. If you
one time.
If you do high eyebrows multiple times in a row, it's creepy. Just go up and keep them there.
All right. Well,
guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode.
I'm gonna be. If you need me, I'll be at Palmer still practicing how to get a drink.
Luckily, we got some time to figure this out.
Yeah, we do.
So, guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode. Like we said at the beginning of the podcast, you got to check out.
You got to check out Palmer's. It's Brooke, right? Come check out Brooke over at Palmer's.
Yes.
And Brooke, how do you prefer to be asked for a drink if the bar is crowded?
Helps if you have money in your hand when you ask.
We were told that was not correct.
He said, how much money? How much money?
Hold some cash. Something that looks more than $4 in seconds at least.
It's gotta have as long as it's not a George Washington, you're cool with it?
Come see Brooke.
Okay.
Come see Brooke and bring your Andrew Jacksons, Benjamin Franklin's.
Yes.
Right?
And then
absolutely.
What about a Lincoln? You see a Lincoln? Are you happy? Yeah, I know.
So,
put your fives away.
So just Benjamin Franklin, our greatest president ever? Yes. Yes. If you want to drink here at Palmer's, make sure you got our best president ever, Benjamin Franklin, ready to go.